Welcome into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. Tough outing in Carolina. Tell me just kind of big picture now, what stood out to you since looking at that game a little bit in the tape?
It was really coming down to the end. It was execution. I thought we controlled every category. We did what we wanted to do from a run game standpoint. We made some timely passes defensively for the most part, held up and played. And we had some good returns on special teams. It was unfortunate we had the turnover at the end, but we were in position to kick a field goal and possibly win the ball game.
And what was your message to the team in the locker room afterward, knowing that it's got to be kind of a weird situation to have dealt with these losses, but to still know that you're fully in it, fully in control of your destiny, and how you want them to approach coming out of this game and this week?
Just always be pissed off, but always be determined. You know, we got to come back and we got to correct the little things. It's not about effort. It's not about our emotions. It's about our execution at critical times before the half and at the end of the ball game. If we can fix the critical things, we can take care of ourselves.
Take us through that final offensive drive that ended in the interception and what went wrong on that drive.
Well, Baker made a great scramble just to get down there. He made a great scramble to get us around midfield. We made some throws to get down there. I think on the last play, 2nd and 4, I think Luke jumped, so we went back to 2nd and 9. We were about 8-9 yards away from field goal range, and we ran crossers, and it wasn't open at the time, so Baker started to scramble a little bit, and Mike saw it, and he tried to get in the scramble drill and turn back the other way just when Baker was throwing the ball his way, and obviously it was unfortunate for us.
Tell me about Baker's passing game overall, and outside of that interception and the miscommunication, how you felt he played from a passing standpoint.
I thought he played decent in the short game, but we threw a lot of short passes. We got to find a way to get more explosive plays, and that comes by design, obviously, and some of the things they do as well. But we got to get the ball downfield to our playmakers more. But he completed all of them, and he did a good job up until the end.
I know you mentioned that one scramble he had. He had a big 23-yard third down run. He had the 26-yard run at the drive at the end of the game. These were his highest yards per rush of the season, and on the year his 7 yards per carry leads all quarterbacks with at least 40 rushing attempts. I know there was a period there where he physically wasn't able to rely on that as much. How nice is it to see that it feels like now this game was like, yeah, this part of his game is fully back?
Well, it's good to see him moving around in the pocket, obviously, and getting the scrambles. We just got to finish games.
And then I know Mike got that touchdown from the 1 yard line, and it felt kind of like another sign of, oh, Mike is back. This is the red zone Mike that we have missed for a while now. What stood out about that play and just what he can bring from that red zone, and especially kind of first and goal situation?
He's a matchup nightmare, one-on-one in the red zone. Being 6'5", and most DBs are barely 6 feet, his length and his catch radius and his leaping ability says a lot of things, and he can make a bunch of tough catches.
That was his 15th career touchdown catch against Carolina, which is the most against any opponent. And I know part of that is just frequency with your division, but even over the Saints, over the Falcons, it feels like Carolina's the team that he tends to do pretty well against. Why do you think that is? What is it about some of the matchups that have helped him have such success there?
I think anytime we're down in the red zone, it feels like he has success, whether it's Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans, or anybody else. So he's just a generational player, and I'm glad we got him.
I know that there was definitely an emphasis on getting the run game going, especially early that first drive. And how did you feel just overall about the run-pass balance of the game plan?
I thought the game plan was fine. I mean, even last year we ran the ball the first game 41 times, the second game 38 times. This time we ran it 33 times. We controlled the time of possession. We had some timely passes. We kept them off the field. We had good field position, and I thought we wore them down a little bit. We just couldn't execute once we got in the red zone all the way, and we couldn't execute at the end.
I know you guys did end up running for 169 yards on those 33 carries, which is tied for the third most in a single game this season, and 5.1 yards per carry was the fourth highest average in a game this year. I know some of that was Baker, but how did you feel like your running backs did in averaging to be a part of that, and just overall the run game for their side?
I think Rashad had the one big run. He broke out and had it one. Bucky had a bunch of 6 and 4 and 7 yard runs that way, but we were moving the ball. We were making it second and manageable and third and manageable, and I thought that was important in the ball game.
Rashad, had that 39-yard run. It was the second longest of his career and our second longest rushing play of the season. What did he do so well in that run, and also the offensive line side of things?
He did a good job being patient, letting the offensive line make their blocks and the tight end make their blocks. And when he saw a hole, I don't think anybody touched him. He ran through it, and it was just a foot race after that.
And Chris Godwin Jr. joined Mike as the second player in Bucs history to record 600 career receptions, and he passed the 7,500 career receiving yards milestone, again joining Mike Evans as the lone players in team history. Seeing him be at a place this season and now be continuing to hit some of these marks, and just where does it seem like he is after being back from the injury, and the asset he can be to this offense now?
It really looks like he's coming on and getting back to himself. Just the nuances of the things that he does and the blocking and everything else and the routes and seeing everything how he sees it, it really looks like he's getting back to the old Chris.
Second quarter, that first drive you guys had, there was the field goal penalty that allowed them to get that fresh set of downs for you guys, and first and goal from the 4, but unable to get that touchdown. We talked a bit about the red zone aspect of it. What didn't work so well on that one in that red zone attempt?
Got to do a better job on first down. We got to do a better job of at least cutting it in half on first down. That way we won't get the 2nd and 5 and 3rd and 5 and those type of things.
And then in the second quarter, the drive, there was that 3rd and 13 after a penalty, and then Baker took the 9-yard sack to back us up to our own 9. What did you notice on that drive and that little stretch there?
We got to get the ball out, and at least make it incomplete. We got to get the ball out. We missed a blitz pickup on a stunt, and it kind of came through and caught him off guard.
I know Sean Tucker got another touchdown on that first drive of the second half. What did he do well in that play?
He read the defense. Everybody was piled inside. He bounced outside, and it became an easy play for him.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back with more on the Todd Bowles Show. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. I know Luke definitely struggled with a few penalties. What do you think led to that, and just his game overall?
It's concentration. You got to concentrate more. We can't have our starting tackle, right tackle, getting 4 penalties. He's got to be better than that. He knows that, and he'll be better next week. At the same time, everybody else fought. Everybody else battled. We won our share. We gave up a sack or 2 here and there, but we won our share, and they battled tough.
And tell me about the O-line, just overall run and pass side. What did you notice about some of the strengths and weaknesses in them in that game?
When they rushed 4 guys, I thought we set up pretty good. I thought we had trouble with 1 or 2 of the pressures that they sent at us, and we missed a guy and we didn't pick it up, and we got to be better in that way.
I know Emeka was able to have that 40-yard catch for him. What did he do well in that play?
It was really Mike circled in the middle of the field, and Emeka came over top of him. It was one of our few explosives in the pass game. We need more of those.
Have you noticed a change in how he's being faced or targeted now that guys like Mike and Chris are back, and does that have a chance to maybe open him up a little bit more throughout the rest of this regular season?
I think it does. I think we're still sifting through how to get all these guys touches at the same time between J-Mac and Mike and Chris and Mecca and Cade and Bucky, Rashard and Sean. So we got to do a better job of making sure everyone has their plays designed when they go in there and make sure we execute them.
Why do you think that the offense wasn't able to be able to kind of take advantage of that? There was that 40-yard play for Mecca. It still had to punt back with about 5 minutes left in the game. What didn't work well after that play to be able to kind of finish it?
Shot ourselves in the foot. I'm pretty sure we got a penalty that moved us back, and then we just didn't execute clean.
I know on the Panthers' opening drive, they were able to convert on that 3rd and 7 with an 11-yard pass to their McMillan, and then 25-yard run to Horn and 13 by Dowdle. Kind of what was happening early in that drive where they were able to get a few chunk plays kind of right in a row?
Well, the reverse, we just got to stay outside and keep our leverage. We lost leverage on the reverse outside. That one was big. They were getting 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, and they were running the ball as opposed to throwing the ball, and they weren't letting the quarterback just open up and go down the field on us.
I know you were able to hold them to field goal after their first down at the 13. Braswell had a big tackle for loss on that play. What went well in being able to at least hold them to the field goal there?
I thought the secondary covered well. We switched up some coverages down there, made them hold the ball, and D-line didn't let them out the pocket.
I know we knew we were going to be without Zion in this game. Take us through kind of the decision of starting Morrison and, kind of keeping Parrish at nickel corner for some of that, and just all the decisions that went into what your secondary was going to look like without Zion.
There's a lot that goes with the nickel position for Parrish. So to play nickel and corner as a rookie at the same time, that's a big adjustment to do everything that he needed to do. So we thought Morrison was ready. He's been getting healthy the past couple weeks. He's been watching film. Mentally, he's been great. He's been practicing faster. and we felt like it was his time to go in and play and prove it, and he showed us right. He did a very good job in there. He competed his tail off.
Yeah, what were some of the things that impressed you the most about how Morrison played?
Just his aggressiveness. He pressed, he got up there, he wasn't afraid of anybody. He made some plays on the ball. He gave up one play, but he was smothered all over him. Obviously, the fade ball, you want him to stay on top, but he did a really good job seeing the run game. He did a really good job making some plays on the perimeter.
JPP getting his first playing time since he got back. What was the decision that this week would be the one that he'd get in there, and just kind of what went into how much he was going to play and the situations you were going to throw him in on?
Well, he had a really good 2 weeks of practice, and we thought when we got him in there, we thought we'd be pass rushing more, at least on third down. We didn't get him as many third and long situations for him to get his feet wet, all the way wet, for him to go in there and produce and learn the scheme as much as he did in the last 2 weeks. I thought he did a good job. We'll do a better job going forward of where we place him and give him advantages to get the quarterback.
It ended up seeming like pretty decent timing to have him as well when all of a sudden you lose Anthony Nelson and later in the game Hassan Reddick. How did losing each of those guys and when you lost them impact the rotation and what you were trying to do with your defense?
I don't think it impacted it too much. Obviously, when you lose starters and you lose players that back up, that play a lot, it's going to be a big leap. But JPP went in and did a heck of a job, and he held his own.
And then overall, the pass rush, what did you see from them in this game, and what would you have liked to see more of?
Got to work together. On the touchdown pass, 2 guys fell off of him, 3 guys missed him. We got to run through the quarterback. We can't leave our feet. We left our feet way too early. We did that at least 2 or 3 times. We had 9 pressures, but we couldn't get them on the ground. We got to be able to get them on the ground.
Yeah, and outside of the pass rush, what else didn't work well in that touchdown play, and what maybe in hindsight could have gone a little different for the guys out there?
Levante knows he has to stay in coverage. Other than the sack, we got to stay back and stay in coverage, and he understands that. I
know Cervasier got a sack and a half in the game. As he joked that it's helpful when the quarterback falls down to help you out, but sack and a half for Cervasier. Also got a career high in QB hits. What did you see from his game and how it ranked compared to maybe some others across the course of this season?
He's always been good in the run game. I thought he was very good underneath coverage in the passing game as well. He shot the gap at the right time, going for his pressure, and Levante came in to help that as well. But he's really getting a feel for the defense and coming into his own.
All right, we're going to take another break here on the Todd Bowles Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. So I know the Panthers, that late second quarter drive, it started with some good field position for them after the sack we took, held them to a field goal after those back-to-back plays by Parrish and Morrison on the sideline. What did you like about that drive and the plays especially that they made?
I thought they were very aggressive. They were locked in. They were in the moment, and they made plays. They didn't play like rookies. I thought they did a very good job.
This was Parrish's first game with multiple PBUs in particular. What do you feel like he did to get those stats and to see him going after the ball a little bit more?
Very good cover guy. They really don't throw at him much. I mean, he covers his guys so well, he doesn't get thrown that much. So the passes they throw at him, he's going to make some PBUs, if not interceptions.
I know Yaya recorded a quarterback hit in his 7th straight game, which extends a career-best streak for him. What have you seen about his ability to get after the quarterback, whether or not it's always in sack forms, but just kind of his overall pressure and the way he's grown?
He's our most productive pass rusher. I mean, he gets back there more than anybody. He got to close them and finish some of them, and sometimes the ball is out. He got some hits yesterday where the ball came out so fast and he got back there. I mean, you really feel bad that he doesn't get the sacks, but he's playing some good ball for us the last couple of weeks.
And how do you see bringing in a JPP also being able to help someone like a Yaya, of even just having a veteran presence like that to talk to him? And Yaya has already mentioned that JPP's been kind of helping him with a few tips here and there. Is that something that is part of even the reason of having a guy like JPP around?
It's always great to have that guy here. You know, you got him and Hassan, but JPP can really get to him on another level because he sees his ability. They're kind of built alike. So if he can teach him some of the moves that he has and Yaya understands that and expand his game, that's going to be helpful for us.
And then I know that there was that touchdown for them to Sanders at the very end of the third quarter. What happened on that play?
That's the one where 3 guys missed the quarterback. I think Vita missed him, Yaya missed him, I think Logan missed him, but Levante came out of coverage and let Sanders in the back of the end zone. The quarterback got out and found him.
I know Cam Johnson, longest kickoff return of the season for us on the opening drive, 37 yards, and then set a new season long of 43 later in the game to start the fourth quarter. And it's the 8th time since 2000 that a Bucs player's had 2 kick returns of at least 35 yards in a single game, and the first time it's happened since 2013. What do you think it was this game that just kind of let Cam Johnson light it up in that area?
Well, he was on fire. I mean, the balls were kicked line drive-wise. He caught them on the run, and he ran fast. We wanted to win the hidden yardage on special teams, and that kickoff returns helped us do that.
What have you thought of just our return game in general from the actual punt, kick return, carrying standpoint, and just the production you've been able to get out of that this year? Does it uphold what kind of the goals were that you had to start the season?
No, we like to do more, especially on kickoff return. Punt return, sometimes the fair catches get in the way, but kickoff return, I think up front we want more returns. We want to at least get out over the 40.
I know Chase, another 50-plus yarder, which I just feel like every week we're getting to talk about that. It was his 11th straight made field goal from 50-plus this season, which is the most consecutive 50-yarders without a miss by a kicker in NFL history in a single season. He now is 43 of 50 from that distance in his career, which is the best percent career make in NFL history from that range. What has he meant to the team at this point, and just what is it like for you now, the emotions as a coach watching him jog out there, even from 50-plus, just kind of the way you feel watching him head out there?
It's been huge. I think the hardest one he hit was probably the 32, 33-yarder into the wind, because it was really blowing and kicked up a storm, and it barely made it through. It kind of it went dead in midair. So that kick was more impressive than the 50-something yarder, because the wind wasn't blowing at that time, but the wind was blowing on the 32-yarder.
All right, we're going to take one more break here on the Todd Bowles Show. When we come back, we're going to talk about this upcoming game against Miami. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. So going into this Miami game, what do you know about just a Mike McDaniels-led team and offense, and what that culture and identity has looked like?
Very aggressive running team. They put you in a lot of different difficult situations by angle blocking you and running away from you. Extreme speed all over the field with the running backs and the wide receivers, and they stretch you out, and they're really fast. And
then, of course, Quinn Ewers instead of Tua, and really only have one game to look at this new quarterback and what he's going to look like. So how does that affect the way you guys try to game plan and approach, and just the challenge of this late in the season still having so little tape on a guy?
No, we don't have a lot of tape on him, but at the same time, we got to play the system. If we play the system and understand he's a little different than Tua as far as getting rid of the ball quicker, we'll have a better understanding of what they try and do during the game. So we'll have to figure it out as the game goes, but in the meantime, we got to play fundamentals and technique.
Tell me about Devon Achane and just the way that he can be electric back there, and the things that you have to be paying attention to stop him.
He's a lot like Jahmyr Gibbs. He's very explosive. If you give him a crease, his stop to start is way faster than your stop to start, so it's going to be important for us to gang tackle.
And then Jalen Waddle, definitely a huge part of their offense. What is the most challenging about him?
More speed, catching the quick ones and making a crease, running away from the DBs if they don't have the right leverage, and make sure we get some hands on them at the line of scrimmage.
And tell me about just their offensive line and front and what that brings.
They're led by their center, Brewer, very athletic center. They pull those guys a lot. They run them a lot. All of them run across the line of scrimmage, so the D-line's got their work cut out for them. And if we're not ready to go, they're gonna run right around us.
I know since they had a trade that they made, now Bradley Chubb is their leader in sacks. What have you seen from a guy like him and the way he can disrupt things?
Aggressive and powerful. You know, we got to sit there and we got to block this guy, because he's their number one guy. He's got 6.5 sacks right now, but at the same time, he gets pressure all the time.
And then Zach Sealer as well, their kind of other leading guy. What does he like to do out there?
He's the interior guy, and he can run stunts, and he can run spike games and everything else, and he can cause a lot of havoc on the inside.
I know Rasul Douglas is leading them in both passes defense and interceptions. What kind of a weapon has he been for their secondary?
Physical, and he's a ball hawk. He can see things in zone that younger guys can't see, and he can take advantage of plays and routes.
And I know Mika Fitzpatrick was unavailable this last week, still early in the week when we're recording this to know if he's going to be available, but how would his presence change things one way or the other?
Another ball hawk, very intelligent safety, very athletic safety, can make plays in the run and the pass game.
Well, Coach, as always, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Good luck this next week.
Thank you.